Hello, the Pioneer viewers. We continue to bring you developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. The war between the parties continues, as you know. Unfortunately, the solution proposals for the war do not help to create a permanent process. Russia's aggressive policy is preventing a peace process in the region. The Moscow administration is preventing the peace process because of the courts and the possibility of prosecution of officials. Wars have always come to an end. What is important for politicians is the trial process that starts after the war ends. Considering that the trial process will involve many Russian officials, the reason for the prolongation of the war can be understood more clearly. Times of war are a time when all conditions must function well. The military personnel of the state must serve their country at full capacity. Perhaps the most difficult part of war is building an army of dedicated soldiers. The armies that have been able to strike this balance have gone down in history as the most successful armies. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine has been going on for more than 2 years. The ongoing confrontation between the two sides has resulted in extraordinary casualties for both armies. At this point, the war is still ongoing and there is no progress. It is known that the Ukrainian army has inflicted great losses on the Russian army as a result of successful and effective counterattack operations. In addition, the Russian army is also suffering significant losses within the Russian army. From the beginning of the war until today, 1/5 of the Russian army's losses have been caused by the mistakes of the Russian army personnel. There is a major rotation problem in the Russian army. Troops fighting at the front cannot be replenished with new ones. This overloads the troops with excessive workload and increases the error rate. Battlefields are not places that can accept mistakes. Small mistakes can be costly. Recently, information emerged about a major scandal regarding the Russian plane that was allegedly shot down in recent operations. The information obtained states that the Russian plane was shot down as a result of friendly fire. Now, if you are ready, let's examine the latest developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to report on the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments with us in the comments. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. Recently, a Russian Su-27 fighter jet was neutralized in the Crimea region. New information supports that the fighter jet was actually shot down by friendly fire. This news, which reached thousands of people in a short time, attracted a lot of attention. Thousands of comments were made after the news was shared on social media. A Russian Su-27 fighter jet shot down in Crimea fell victim to friendly fire due to a lack of situational awareness and coordination between Moscow forces. According to a statement by the Ukrainian Navy, the plane was mistakenly shot down by Russia's own air defenses. However, the Russian governor of Sevastopol, Crimea's largest city, has issued statements insisting that the incident was caused by a mechanical failure related to the pilot's survival. Moscow has shared very little information about developments throughout the war. In particular, it developed a communication strategy in the framework of propaganda activity. The governor of Sevastopol also reports directly to the Kremlin. For this reason, there were doubts about the accuracy of his statement. The truth was revealed in British intelligence reports. Russian President Vladimir Putin launched an all-out invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, after having previously seized and annexed Crimea, which was recognized as Ukrainian territory by Western powers in 2014. Since February 2022, Ukraine has repeatedly responded with missiles and drones against targets in Crimea and Sevastopol, home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet, one of the most important targets. The Ukrainian military's pressure in the region has yielded results. Russian troops turned inward, especially in Crimea and the Black Sea. The Russian Navy's Black Sea Fleet suffered heavy damage as a result of Ukrainian attacks. The critical situation in the region stems from the Kerch Bridge. The bridge is the main transportation route between the Russian mainland and Crimea. It is also the route to Russian troops in Ukraine. Therefore, disruptions at the bridge directly affect the Russian military situation in Ukraine. The latest UK intelligence report said that Ukrainian forces had launched strikes against targets in Sevastopol and the Black Sea Fleet, which certainly led to increased readiness of local Russian air defenses. According to the Ukrainian military, its forces damaged 2 large Russian landing ships, the Ropucha-class ships Yamal and Azov, and port facilities in Sevastopol during the attack. Russian officials confirmed that an attack had taken place and said they shot down 10 missiles. Satellite images later revealed damage to several buildings in Sevastopol following the incident. The British intelligence update said there had been previously unconfirmed reports of similar incidents of friendly fire occurring, usually following periods of Ukrainian action against Russian forces. As a result, Rather than a technical problem, there is a realistic possibility that the increased pressure and tension among Russian air defense operators caused by the fear of further Ukrainian actions has led them to inadvertently target their own pilots and aircraft. We have reported in the past that personnel errors in the Russian military have led to significant losses. The cost of holding the Crimea region is creating greater and greater difficulties for Russia every day. Russian military personnel stationed in the region are experiencing a great psychological wear and tear. The possibility of a Ukrainian attack at any moment makes them nervous. In conclusion, this and other incidents reveal the lack of situational awareness and coordination between elements of the Russian armed forces. It further illustrates the second-order effect of the Ukrainian army's attacks. The Ukrainian army is successfully conducting the psychological dimension of the war. In recent weeks, Ukraine has been using domestically produced drones to strike targets deep inside Russia, including military installations and oil refineries. Last day, Kiev troops said they destroyed 6 fighter jets and damaged 8 others during an attack on Morozovsk airfield in Russia's Rostov region. It is difficult to predict what will happen in the coming days. Every day new developments have a significant impact on the war process. How do you interpret the scandal in the Russian army? What do you think the lack of coordination between the Russian troops has caused since the beginning of the war? Do you think the Ukrainian army is successfully conducting the psychological dimension of the war? How do you assess the Ukrainian army's plans for a counter-offensive? We value your opinion. Please share it with us.